Arch Rivals Football, in collaboration with the Playmakers blog, presents Bearing Down the Gridiron, sponsored by NFLShop.com, Fanatics, and Points.com. Here are your hosts for the show, Alex, the Bear Man Al-Kazzaz, and Darnell, the Playmaker Sallins. Executively produced by Ricky, a.k.a. the Master of Mayhem, Litwinkowich. Kickoff starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bearing Down the Gridiron right here on this lovely Thursday night. Right around the time Thursday night football is getting kicked up between the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers. But I am here to talk some college football with you guys. And y'all know me, down at the Playmaker house out here in Jacksonville, Florida. Got to get ready. We got to recap what took place in Week 11. Very interesting week that happened in Week 11. And we got to preview Week 12 this weekend, college football. That's going to be spotlight off onto the West Coast. And with me today is my co-host, the man out there in the good old state of Texas. Everything's big in Texas. A lot of things took place down in Texas. Got some more things coming up in the state of Texas, but he's going to talk about it all. From the state of Texas, the Bear Man himself, Alex Al-Kazzaz. Going on, bro?
Oh, still sick, but just hope that my voice isn't as damaged now.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I got a sore throat and I'm stuffed.
Sore throat.
You know, mucus. Yuck.
All right. Normally we'll do a 2-minute drill, but we're going to skip the 2-minute drill because we're going to go ahead and get this one out the way. We have to talk about it. There's no way around it. Bearman, you know I hate talking about stuff like this, but it did happen to a college school, so I have to bring it up. So last Sunday, there was a tragic shooting at the University of Virginia where 3 football players were killed, presumed to be from an ex-football player of theirs. And it's just saddening that we have these 3 young men gone this year. Bearman, I'll give you the floor first.
It's a shame. It's a shame that it happened, and sometimes the fact that you think that the killer is allegedly a former player, you kind of these motives kind of come to mind. Like, was he bitter? Was he jealous? Did he I don't know, but there's a lot of motives. There's a lot of unanswered questions. But you know what the most frustrating thing about it is, Darnell? Is that because you know what this situation can turn into in our in our particular country is that this whole thing is getting political.
Yeah.
And this is what, man, when I say I hate it that this happens, it becomes like that, is because the whole situation spirals out of control.
All right. Alleged Virginia gunman had purchased stolen gun for protection. Mark Strawberry, have ESPN senior writer, wrote this at 5:00 p.m. today.
Wait, what about the? Say that again. Wait, I thought I could have just wanted he stole the gun.
Alleged Virginia gunman had stolen handgun for protection.
Purchased a stolen handgun.
When alleged University of Virginia gunman Christopher Darnell Jones Jr. was pulled over by police in Chesterfield, Virginia on February 26, 2021. Officials discovered he had stolen a handgun under his shirt in his wristband. According to an incident report obtained by ESPN on Thursday. When an officer asked Jones whether the gun he has, he admitted it was and said he had purchased it for $500 from a guy at the 7-Eleven. When officers asked Jones whether he knew the gun was stolen, he replied, "No, but I thought it was sketchy to buy it," according to the report. Jones told the officer that, quote, he wanted to have protection for his family because he lost 2 of his brothers, close quote. The report said officers seized marijuana from the Mazda 6 that Jones was driving, along with a Smith and Wesson 9mm handgun and a 15 9mm cartridge.
Hmm. He bought the gun. He bought the stolen gun at a guy from a 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if buying a gun to protect your family is nothing wrong with that, but you know, see, to me, I always say purchasing a firearm, if you were to do it, the first thing to do is to make sure that you are trained to use it properly and that you are mentally capable of doing it. You know, a gun is not a toy. I mean, I know that when we were kids, you see these action films, you kind of think it's cool, but you got to understand a gun is not a toy. Like, you got to keep it hidden away from the kids. You got to put it in a safe place, and you know, you got to know how to use it.
Jones, 22, is accused of shooting and killing junior wide receivers Lavelle Davis Jr. and Devin Chandler and junior defensive end / linebacker Deshaun Perry on a charter bus Sunday night. Running back Mike Hollins is hospitalized after being shot in the back. A 5th person on the bus, Virginia student Marley Morgan, was also shot and is in good condition. Prosecutors charged Jones with 3 felony charges of second-degree murder and firearm use in the commission of a felony, as well as 2 counts of malicious wound and additional gun-related charges related to shooting Hollins and Morgan. He is being held without bail in the Charlestonville jail.
Whoever sold him the gun, they need to investigate that too. They got to investigate how the guy got the gun stolen.
Virginia officials say they became aware of John's conviction on the misdemeanor concealed weapon charge while conducting their own investigation into a hazing incident on September 5th. A student alleged that Jones made a comment to him about having a gun.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to go to the other article that we have here. UVA running back Mike Hollins recounts deadly bus shooting through mom. When a gunman started shooting passengers on a charter bus returning to the University of Virginia from a class trip on Sunday night, Cavaliers running back Mike Hollins at first thought it was balloons popping. Then Hollins saw the alleged gunman, former Virginia walk-on player Christopher Darnell Jones Jr., and screamed at the driver to stop the bus. Hollins and 2 other students ran off the bus, but he soon realized no one else was following them. Hollins from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, told 2 students to keep running, but he went back to the bus to help others, according to his mom, Brenda Hollins. Quote, his classmates are grateful for him because they say he saved their lives. He was the first off the bus and 2 other of his classmates to run, and he went back. Just tragic.
Well, the person that's responsible for this, he did the crime. He's got to do the time.
Shout out to Mr. Hollins for putting himself in danger when he actually got out of danger. But tragic incident. Another mass shooting in this country.
I kind of also hope that this kind of convinces them to take mental health research more seriously.
And yet, still, nobody has figured out why Jones Jr. did what he did. Why? I just want to know why. But for the time being, we're going to take a moment of silence here to remember those 3 young men who were unfortunately killed this past Sunday night. All right. Now that let me go to a commercial break, and then we'll get back into what we normally do. The Playmakers Bar is proudly to announce that it lettered a partnership deal with Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus. Stream live sports from any device that you have, whether it's your computer, laptop, or even your cellular device. Catch breaking news live when it happens, and enjoy a mountain of entertainment from movies to shows to whatever you love doing. Paramount Plus. Plan starts at $4.99 a month, but right now you can get a free trial. Just hit that link below with the Playmakers blog and start your free trial right now. Paramount Plus, Mountains of Entertainment. All right, welcome back to Bearing Down the Gridiron with the Playmaker here, Darnell, Sallins and the Bearman, Al-Kazzaz. Now it's time to dive into a recap of last week. Ready, Bearman? Going back to last Friday night, it was a American Conference battle between East Carolina and Cincinnati. Cincinnati was trying to bounce back from the loss to UCF the prior week. And the Bearcats did such a thing, Bearman, 27-25, a good old American fight down to the wire. Shout out to Cincinnati Bearcats overcoming a East Carolina rally to survive this game, Bearman. What's your thoughts on what took place down in Cincinnati?
Well, it was a fight. Kept going. Got to give East Carolina that credit.
Then we go to last Saturday, beginning in Fayetteville, Arkansas, where the Arkansas Razorbacks were trying to bounce back from having a very disappointing loss to Liberty the week before. And here come rolling in the 7th rank and the defeating of the Nick Saban Crimson Tide LSU Tigers. LSU played a terrible game, Bearman, but they won 13-10.
Yeah, they did.
Was you waiting for Arkansas to pull it off, or you was like, there's no way they pulling it off?
I actually thought Arkansas was going to find a way, yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm watching Arkansas, but I was like, there's no way they're going to win this game. It just don't look right. Like, it just don't look right.
This doesn't look good for LSU.
On the contrary, I beg to differ. But I'll get to that in our next segment. Clemson, South Carolina, the Clemson Tigers trying to find their way back into some type of conversation after getting destroyed by Notre Dame in South Bend. They hosted a very hot Louisville team, and the Tigers put that fire out pretty quickly there, Bearman.
Yeah, they did.
31-16. I mean, let me look at the stats here. Clemson jumped out to a 10-0 lead to begin. Then they had a 17-7 lead in the second quarter. Then it became 24-7 in the third quarter. And Louisville was playing catcher the whole time. They weren't catching the Tigers. They just weren't catching them. And then we go down to Penn State, Pennsylvania. Is that a shout-out that I see?
It is a shutout.
That is
even Penn State's passing game wasn't very good. It was the rushing game. Nick Singleton, 11 carries, 122 yards.
2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Tayo Tagovailoa, 11 for 22, 74 yards passing. Good gracious.
Yeah, it wasn't a good day for Maryland.
Maryland got destroyed. I need to look at these numbers here. I mean, let's see. 11 first downs, 4 for 15 on third down, 0 for 3 on third, 0 for 3 on fourth down. Total yards are 134 total yards. How many minutes are in the game?
60.
In 60 minutes, you can only get 134 yards. In 60 minutes. 74 yards passing, 60
Man,
yards rushing.
Only 2 yards per play.
You had the ball for 25 minutes.
And what's embarrassing too is they had more penalties too.
You had more penalties than rushing yards.
That's exactly what I was pointing out.
Oh. Wow. And I know Penn State fans, what was this when you played Ohio State? What was this when you played Michigan? Just uttered.
Let me say, we're 8-2. We're number 14. We're still fine.
That's
okay.
That's embarrassing for Maryland. Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh, the American game of the year was in New Orleans, Louisiana. At 17 ranked Tulane. That was the lone unbeaten in the American Conference. Was hosting the one team that probably will be seen in the American Championship, the UCF Knights. I'm proud of what I saw. UCF went into New Orleans, took the crowd out the game, and handled business, getting a big road win in Tulane.
I got this one wrong.
Big road win in Tulane. Oh man, it was just a great sight to see. UCF.
I only wish the Rebels could at least make the damn roll tide go away.
You just had to look at it, and yeah, and then do I say this every time, Bear Man?
Yeah.
Every time Alabama loses, whoever's next on the schedule is going to catch this L. Poor old Lane Kiffin. You just can't beat Nick Saban, can you?
Apparently he can't.
At Tennessee, you couldn't beat him. At USC, you couldn't beat him. Now you at Ole Miss, you still can't beat him. You just can't beat Nick Saban. 24-30, the road tie, road Nick Saban, road in Oxford, Mississippi. Then we get to the Big 12. Kansas State sent the message to the Big 12.
We might see that rematch after all.
They sent the big message to the Big 12 by using Baylor to send that message. 31-3.
On the road, too.
Just utterly destroyed the Bears in their backyard. Just utter destruction. Just, oh my gosh. Woo! That was the beginning of the nightcap, and here we go, Pac-12, ladies and gentlemen. Eugene, Oregon. The number 6 team in the land, the Oregon Ducks, were home, hosting 25. The Washington Huskies. And a bonus injury to miss a couple of drives were the difference in Washington winning and Oregon losing.
Washington's making a late comeback.
Bo Nix missed the critical drive. Kane was ready to come back in the game. Mario Cristobal did not call timeout for whatever reason. Everybody can see that Bo Nix was ready to come back in the game. He doesn't call timeout. They turn the ball over on downs, and Washington puts them over. They punt the football because they couldn't convert on the third down. And then Washington puts them away. But the last scoring on their final possession. Michael Pitts Jr., 26 for 35, 408, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Bo Nix, before he was injured, was 19 for 27, 280, and 2 touchdowns. Bearman, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm pretty sure I know the answer. I'm pretty sure I know the answer with it because it's going to show when we do our next segment. But did the Pac-12 lose out on a chance of making the playoffs?
At this point, yeah, probably.
You say the Pac-12 is done. So you're saying Oregon was their last hope?
Kind of looks that way, but anything could happen still, but the odds are just not in their favor.
Okay.
I mean, my pick LA, that's dead.
All right. Let's go to Western State of North Carolina. In-state rivalry when the Wake Forest Demon Deacon hosted the North Carolina Tar Heels, ranked 15 in the country. North Carolina snuck out a 2-point victory, Bearman. Snuck one out.
Snuck one out big time, and now they're 9-1.
Yeah. By the way, the ACC championship game is set. The SEC championship game is set. We have one half of the Big 12 championship set because right underneath that, Austin, Texas, where the Texas Longhorns saw college game day. They was hosting the 4th team in the land, the lone unbeaten team in the Big 12, the TCU Horned Frogs.
Quinn Ewers looked horrible. My Horned Frogs won, so I'm okay.
They ain't look impressive either.
Yeah, it was a horrible game overall. But TCU's in the Big 12 championship now.
TCU's in the Big 12 championship.
Yep.
And your reverse college did work, but it did have a downside to it as well.
Oh, yeah. Because TCU didn't do too well, like you just said.
And then the final game was going to the Q Dome and Syracuse as the Florida State Seminoles just put a thrashing on Syracuse. Good gracious. That's 4 in a row of Syracuse losing since they played Clemson and lost that game.
Florida State's beginning to be Florida State again.
Really?
I mean, they're showing signs of it.
So next week game is very important then. But
against the Gators?
We'll touch on that next week, though. That's next week. All right. So that's the recap for that. Bearman, like I said, your reverse psychology worked because you did get TCU to win, but it was a downside of that.
Yeah.
Because Lane Kiffin still can't beat Nick Saban. And yeah, Bo Nix got injured at the wrong time.
Yep. Then I'm finished. No catching up to you.
You don't even know what I did this week. You didn't even know what I did last week, did you? Well, you kind of right because what you said wasn't going to happen again actually happened again.
Yep. So I'm out of reach.
Woo! That game scared me. I didn't even watch the game, so I didn't know what to expect. Oh, perfect. And then here's the standings, ladies and gentlemen. I have bumped my lead up to 5. To 52-14. Bearman is 47-19. Still got 2 weeks left before championship week, where we're picking all 10 championship games. I mean, all 10. You ain't out of it yet.
Nah, more than likely.
You're not out of it yet. But like I said, we already have some conference championship games already set for the ACC. It'll be North Carolina and Clemson going for the ACC battle. For the SEC, we have the Georgia Bulldogs going against the LSU Tigers down in Atlanta, Georgia. And AT&T Stadium will be seeing the Horned Frogs of TCU there. We're trying to figure out who will be the second team to be in that stadium to face the TCU Horned Frogs for the Big 12 championship. For the MAC, we have Toledo already set for the MAC championship that will be held in Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. I believe that's it for the championship setup right now. Yep, that's it so far. Everything else is still up for grabs. So we're going to take another break here. Then when we come back, we're going to preview this weekend coming.
Paint Train Pipe Bomb Productions and the Playmakers blog are now both partnered with Fanatics. Fanatics is now your new home for all fan merchandise. From the MLB, the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, MLS, NASCAR, WWE, international soccer leagues, and golf. Check out the links below for everyday deals on Fanatics.com.
Big shout out to our sponsors from Fanatics. Love those guys. Guys do a good job for us. So, all right, Bearman, you know what we got to do now.
Yep.
Road trip. That's it, the campus tour. Ben, before we hit the campus tour, I'll give you an update on tonight's game for my college football fan. We have SMU going against Tulane right now, and it's early in the second quarter. Tulane 28, SMU 7 right now, Bearman.
Oh boy.
Yep. That's how this week is getting started. And now we get to go to Saturday, 12 p.m. ABC. The Iowa Fighting Illini are in the big house to take on number 3 Michigan. Bearman, a big one in the Big Ten.
Oh, Michigan's gonna get that one.
And you said that so smoothly and easily. It's just like it just flew out your mouth like it was nothing. Let's see. Vegas says 18. Michigan. Goddamn. 18? Jeez. Well, ESPN ain't no better. 90.7% Michigan. Everybody's on the Wolverine train. Choo choo. From Michigan, we head down to Texas, Waco, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Big noon kickoff, college football on Fox. The Baylor Bears hosting number 4 TCU. Bearman, I asked this question last week. I'm going to pose it again this week. Is TCU on upset alert?
It very well could be because of how the game last week went. So yeah,
And
they're already in the Big 12. They're already in the Big 12 championship, but they got to maintain so they can stay in the top 4.
Vegas is giving the Horned Frogs 2.5. ESPN gives TCU a 51.3% of winning this game.
Wow.
Sounds like TCU's on upset alert to me. Oh boy, if TCU falls out, there'll be more chaos for the college football playoff committee. And I don't think they want that. But the fans want it. Except for you, because you're a Horned Frog fan, but
Yeah.
they want chaos. If Baylor does it, there's gonna be some chaos for sure. That game is at 12 p.m. on Fox, so don't miss that. Sticking in the Big 12, let's go to Morgantown, West Virginia, as the Mountaineers are hosting 15th-ranked Kansas State. Bearman. We have Wildcats and we have Mountaineers in a good state known as West Virginia.
West Virginia just fired their athletic director. I don't know how much help that does for the rest of the season for football.
I didn't know that.
Kansas State's the favorite, but I think West Virginia might do something. We'll see.
Kansas State 7.5, 71.7% in favor of the Wildcats. But Bearman says Kansas State is on upset alert. He's putting Kansas State on upset alert. That's interesting. That's going to be interesting there. That game is at 2 p.m. on the Big 12 network. Getting out of the Big 12, going to the American Conference. We're going to Carolina, North Carolina. As bless you there, sir. 2 p.m.
I got a cold, y'all.
ESPN Plus, the East Carolina Pirates hosting the Houston Cougars at 2 p.m. And before my good old partner says anything for the American Conference, I'm pretty sure he wants to know where we stand in the American Conference. UCF is at the top at 5-1. Cincinnati is right behind them at 5-1. Tulane's third at 5-1. SMU is fourth, who's playing Tulane right now and getting destroyed, as I mentioned earlier. And then right behind SMU is Houston at 4-2, and East Carolina at 3-3. Bearman. So you have 5 versus 6 right now in the American.
It's not like it matters who wins, honestly, right?
Anything can happen, though. We have learned this.
Well, gotta support my state, so I gotta go Houston.
East Carolina 6, 66.7% in favor of the Pirates over the Houston Cougars. Bearman says, let's go Houston. From the American Conference to the SEC. SEC on CBS, number 1 Georgia is in Lexington, Kentucky to take on the Kentucky Wildcats. Georgia has already solidified their spot by winning the ACC East, and they get to go against their rival Kentucky.
Georgia.
92.9% in favor of the Bulldogs. Good gracious.
Good gracious.
Woo! I'm not gonna say. I'm just gonna show you. Like, good Lord, let's see. Do y'all see this? You see this, Bearman?
Yeah, I see it. 22.5-point favorite. That makes it 23.
Good gracious. On the road, too? Oh, my gosh. That's just... Well, they have no faith in Kentucky whatsoever. From the SEC to the ACC, as 24-ranked NC State, they are in the other part of Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, to take on the Louisville Cardinals.
Well, NC State's on upset alert.
I was just going to say, before you even say that, 4.5 Cardinals. 69 points.
Cardinals are the favorites?
69.9% Cardinals.
And yet they're unranked.
Vegas and ESPN agrees with you. North Carolina State is on upset alert. 3:30. ACC Network, do not miss that one because NC State is on upset alert and they are the ranked team, but they are the underdogs. Sticking to the 3:30 slot, FS1 takes us back to the Big 10, to the Big 12 because we're going to Lawrence, Kansas as the Jayhawks are hosting the Texas Longhorns. Both teams are 6-4 on the season. And Bearman, go ahead and say because I know where you're going at because I know how you think.
Who's the favorite?
Burnt Orange has 9.
What's Kansas's record right now?
6-4.
No, give me Kansas.
Burnt Orange is 77% chance of winning.
Like that means anything, honestly? No, I'm not buying that crap. Based on how shitty the offense was last week, I'm supposed to believe that they got it together against Kansas. They'll just look at Kansas and just underestimate them. They've done it before.
He says, damn that. I'm going Kansas. Damn what ESPN say, damn what Vegas say. It's Kansas. Kansas. Roger Chase.
So everybody's picking Kansas.
No, I'm talking about you and how you sounded.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Damn it, no, Kansas, damn it, no Texas." All right. From Lawrence, Kansas to Fayetteville, Arkansas, as the Razorbacks are hosting another ranked team this week in prime time, by the way, and 14th ranked Ole Miss Rebels. Okay.
Yeah, he wants
Is Ole Miss on upset alert?
I wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think so. ESPN says,
I wouldn't think so, but I do think so, quite frankly.
ESPN says 67.9% in favor of the Rebels. Vegas says 2.5 Rebels.
Well, it would be a shame for the Rebels to lose, lose to Alabama, then to Arkansas.
So Rebels is on upset alert, according to Vegas. They can't even get a full 3. Bearman, around this time, what do I love most around this time of football season, especially in college football? Rivalries. So what better way to close out this for our next couple of games in some rivalries? Starting with the Big 12, we're going to Bedlam.
Yeah.
Norman, Oklahoma. The Oklahoma State Cowboys ranked 22nd in the land. Take it on their arch rivals, the Oklahoma Sooners. 7:30 ABC. Does that mean Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler is calling Bedlam for us on Saturday? I would like to think so, because this Bedlam is a rivalry. And speaking of which, I do think my partner needs some numbers real quick. So let me see if I can find those numbers for you. Let's see if we're going to Bedlam. Home team 7.5. 61.4% home team. Fair, man.
I picked Oklahoma. Oh, no, this game wasn't my pick 6. Is it too late to change?
I'm gonna show you the pick 6 in a minute, because yeah. As I know, this week is gonna be very interesting to how these things go. And he talking about he can't catch me. Not to how
It's
he
Norman, and Oklahoma State has dropped big time.
Oh man, we go from the Bedlam rivalry to you ready? Guess what? The spotlight was on the Big 12 last week. The spotlight is on the Pac-12 this week because LA Rose Bowl game of the week number 1. Yes, there's multiple games of the week for us.
The battle
of Los Angeles, number 7. The Trojans of USC are in the Rose Bowl, Pasadena, California, to take on the 16th ranked and Bearman's pick to win the Pac-12, the UCLA Bruins.
Yeah, the team I picked to win the Pac-12.
Exactly. And speaking of the Pac-12,
and no, I'm not making that my change. Whatever I said, I picked Oklahoma State. I'm sticking to it.
Currently, the Trojans of USC hold the top spot in the Pac-12 at 7-1. Right behind them is the Oregon Ducks at 6-1. Right behind Oregon in third is the Utah Utes at 6-1. And then right there at number 4, the UCLA Bruins at 5-2. By the way, UCLA is coming off a terrible loss last week, Bearman. I'm pretty sure a loss that really disappointed you.
Because there goes the Big 12. There goes their Pac-12 chances.
L to Arizona Wildcats. A 3-16 beat UCLA at the Rose Bowl, by the way.
And both these teams are on the way out of the Pac-12.
So we got that going for you. Now, let's see here. Did I go too far? That is 8 p.m. That game will be showed on the Fox. Trojans getting 2. And they are 60.3% chance of winning. Are the Trojans. Somebody should feel good about their pick. I'm not gonna say who. And then finally, game of the week number 2 takes us back to Eugene, Oregon. 10:30 p.m. ESPN. Number 10, the Utah Utes, visiting number 12, the Oregon Ducks. Let's see here. 51.8% in favor of the road team. And the road team is giving 2.
So Oregon's the underdog.
Oregon's the underdog. Can Oregon exercise their demons from last season when they took 2 ass whoopings from Utah. The first one at Utah, and then the second one at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
Yeah, the Pac-12 championship, right?
Exactly. So can the Ducks exercise their demons at home against a team who has been whooping their ass lately?
I hope so. That's why I picked them. And, third time's the charm, right?
Third time's the charm. And speaking of third time's the charm, Bearman, who do you have winning here?
I'm going to...
TCU over Baylor, Georgia over Kentucky, Tennessee over South Carolina. He went Oklahoma State over Oklahoma. He went Trojans over Bruins, even though he picked UCLA to win the Pac-12. Interesting.
Well, it's over anyway. It's over now.
And he picked the Oregon Ducks to exercise their demons over the Utah Utes. These are your picks, sir.
Yep, they are.
And you know what makes it interesting this week?
What? What was that?
Look at my picks. Michigan over Illinois, TCU over Baylor, Georgia over Kentucky, Oklahoma over Oklahoma State, UCLA over USC, and Utah over Oregon. Now, some of you who have been keeping up probably asking yourself a couple of questions. Who did Darnell pick to win the Big 12? That would be Oklahoma State. Why did he pick Oklahoma, though? The game's the Norman, Oklahoma, and there's a rivalry game. And if you know anything about rivalries, I don't care what the rankings say. I don't even care what the records say.
You go
It's just something about a rivalry game that Oklahoma dominates Bedlam for whatever reason. And as I do recall, ain't Oklahoma the favorite in this one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Albeit that I did pick Oklahoma State to win the Big 12. Matter of fact, I can give you the standings right now for the Big 12. Let me look at it. TCU's already in at 7-0. Right behind them is Kansas State at 5-2. Oklahoma State right there and sitting third at 4-3. Baylor is sitting at 4-3. Texas at 4-3. Oof. TCU is on upset alert. A win by Baylor makes things a lot more interesting in the Big 12. And the other question you're probably asking yourself, who did I pick to win the Pac-12? That would be the Oregon Ducks. You'll be correct. So why he picked Utah to go in Eugene to beat Oregon?
Reverse psychology.
Exactly. I'm surprised you knew what I was doing on that one.
Well, we all do it. Even Ricky himself has done it.
So guess what? I am not trying to go 6-0 this week. Steve Wallman. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that this weekend on Saturday. The whole Bills Detroit game when we do arch rivals on Saturday. But yeah, Bearman knew I was. So you knew I was doing real psychology, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to go 6-0. I'm trying to go 5-1, and let that one being Oregon defeating Utah, so they can stay within the Pac-12 race. Okay.
Right.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, was our campus tour in our Bear Down Pick 6. All right. Arch Rivals football comes back at you on Saturday, recapping tonight's Thursday night football game between the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers. And then looking forward to the rest of the NFL slates from Sunday to Monday. Bearman, any final words before we get out?
Oh, no, but I can't wait for championship weekend.
2 weeks away. 2 weeks away.
After Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we got Thanksgiving, then we have Championship Sunday. It should be a doozy. Should be a very good doozy one.
And we got the World Cup.
Yeah, it's the World Cup. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are soccer fans or wanting to pay attention to the World Cup, the Bear Man is the guy that you need to tune into. Go ahead and tell him, Bear Man.
He's got the best soccer podcast in the world. It's Into the Net FC. And on from that, I've got the best pro wrestling podcast in the world, and that would be Ringside Chaos. They're all on Spotify. They're on Apple Podcasts. They're on Google Podcasts. They're on YouTube. If you love soccer, you love wrestling, my shows are the show for you.
Oh yeah, we got War Games coming up next weekend. Woo! I forgot about that. That should be a fun one.
AEW full gears this weekend.
Oh man. So that's the Bear Man down in the good old state of Texas. I am the Playmaker out here in Florida. We'll catch y'all Saturday.
You've just experienced Bearing Down the Gridiron, featuring your hosts Alex the Bearman Al-Kazzaz and Darnell the Playmaker Sallins. Executive production is done by Ricky, the master of Mayhem Litwinkowich. Click that like button and subscribe so you'll be notified when a new Bearing Down the Gridiron episode is live on the air. Check out our sponsor links down below for everyday deals on Fanatics, NFLshop.com, and Points.com. Need merch? Check out www.paintrainpipebomb.threadless.com for quality merchandise at amazing prices.